Welcome back, lottery fans. Today I'm going to do a rundown that's working pretty well in a lot of states. It's fairly lucky, definitely working in the states that I'm tracking for the month of April 2019. I'm going to show you how to do the rundown. I'm going to show you 3 different examples for 3 different states, and then you can go ahead and try it in your state. And of course, if it's working, definitely leave me a comment below. Let me know if it's working in your state. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the name of this rundown is called the +3 -3 rundown. It's a pick 3 rundown using our standard tic-tac-toe worksheet. If you want a copy of this tic-tac-toe worksheet, it's completely free. You can go ahead and download it from lotterypredictor.com. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can get that. And you can get this rundown worksheet or any of our other rundown worksheets from some of the other videos on this channel. So the rundown actually works fairly similar to a rundown we did about a month and a half ago called the +1 -1 rundown. And that one worked pretty well. I got some great feedback that was working back in February. So definitely knowing that this will work in April, I'm hoping for the same kind of results. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in with our first state for an example. And we're going to start by using Maryland as our first state. And to do this one, we're actually going to use the midday drawing. You can use the evening drawing if you want, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using the Maryland one, the Maryland midday. And the start date I'm going to use is 4/7, which is today. So the midday drawing from today's drawing. Now we're only going to need one result, which is the midday drawing result from today, which was 3, 6, 8. So fill that in our spot there. And what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put that in the center column here, vertically down in our base grid. So we'll put 3 in the top box, 6 in the middle box, and 8 in the bottom box there. And then what we're going to go ahead and do for this rundown is pretty much exactly what the rundown says. We're going to take on the left hand column, we're going to +3 to these numbers, and on the right hand column we're going to subtract 3. So this one column is going to be a +3, and this column is going to be a -3. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and take the middle number, and we'll fill out the left hand column first. So 3 + 3 is 6, so we'll put a 6 in this box here. Then we'll take the next number down here. 6 + 3 is 9, so we'll fill that in there. And then 8 + 3 is 11, but because this is a pick 3 lottery, we only want 1 digit, so we take the right handmost digit from the number 11, which is a 1, and we'll put 1 in there. So now we have our left hand column filled out. We're going to go ahead and do the same for the right hand column, which is subtracting 3 from our base number here. So 3 - 3 is 0, 6 - 3 is 3, and 8 - 3 is 5. So there's our base grid filled out. Now we're going to go ahead and use mirror numbers to fill in our translated grid over here. And if you don't know what the mirror numbers are, you can see them on the bottom of the free workout rundown worksheet here. So you can use this as a very simple reference to look it up. What we're going to do is we're going to take every single number in our base grid, look up the mirror number for it, and fill that in the corresponding box on the translated grid. So we'll start in the top left. We'll take the 6. The mirror number of 6 is 1. So we'll fill a 1 in there. Then we'll take the 3. The mirror number of 3 is 8. Put the 8 in there. Then the 0. The mirror number of 0 is 5. Put a 5 in there. And we're just going to keep going through, filling out these mirror numbers from our lookup table until we've got the translated grid filled out. Mirror number of 6 is 1. Mirror number 3 is 8. Mirror number of 1 is 6. Mirror number of 8 is 3. And the mirror number of 5 is 0. So now we have our base grid and our translated grid filled out. We can go ahead and pull out the numbers that we want to play in the upcoming lottery draws. And as with most of my rundowns, the way I do this is I'll pick the numbers that I want to run, and I'll play them for about 3 or 4 days, and if they start hitting, I'll play them for about 2 weeks if they're hitting. If they're not hitting, after about the 4th or 5th day, I'll throw the rundown away and just do a different rundown, because that rundown wasn't actually working for that state. So you can use any pattern that you want to take. We're going to take 3 numbers from the base grid and 3 numbers from a translated grid and fill them in down here to pick for all the numbers we're going to play. And you can use any pattern you want. You can use either straight verticals, you can use straight horizontals. I always like to take, normally like to take the diagonals and the vertical, but for this rundown, because we filled in the vertical in the middle grid, I'm just going to take the horizontals. So I'm just going to take all of these. That way we get that +3 and -3 for each of the numbers on each of the lines there. So in our base grid, that gives us a 630 and a 963 and a 185. And then we'll go ahead and do exactly the same pattern in our translated grid. We'll play the 3 horizontal numbers over here, and that will give us a 185, which is actually a repeat there. So you can either double up on that, or I'm going to play $2 rather than $1, or you can just go ahead and play it box and straight if you want. That's the way to play that. Or you can just play the 5 numbers, completely up to you. A 418 and a 630. So very interesting. We've actually got 2 numbers that came out on both grids there. So these, I would say these are very hot numbers because they're showing up in both grids. That's a very good sign that they might actually start hitting for Maryland. So definitely we should keep tracking that and see if that actually shows up. So let me do a couple more states, show you how to do it. So you can see just a couple more examples. So for our second state that we're going to run the same rundown, it's going to be the +3, -3 rundown. We're going to go ahead and do Pennsylvania. We're going to do the Pennsylvania evening lottery from last night. So last night was 4-6. So we only need the 1 result, and last night it was a 9-8-1. So we're going to go ahead and fill that in down here. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same again. We're going to do +3 in our left hand column and a -3 in the right hand column. So taking each of these numbers, adding +3 to it, each of the numbers in the left hand column, and -3 in the right hand column. So 9 + 3 is 12, but as this is pick 3, we only need the 1 number out of it. So we're going to take the right hand number, which is a 2, fill the 2 in there. 8 + 3 is 11. Once again, we're only going to take the 1 out of that. And 1 + 3 is 4. So we'll go ahead and fill that in there. Then on the right hand side, we're going to subtract 3 from our middle number. So 9 - 3 is a 6. 8 - 3 is a 5. And 1 - 3 would actually be well, depends on how you do it, but it actually, in lottery numbers, it works out to be an 8, because we're actually going to go ahead and count backwards. So we'll go 1 0 9 8, counting 3 backwards, like that. So we'll go ahead, and that's our base grid. Now we'll go ahead and fill out our translated grid using our mirror numbers. From down here, we'll take every single number, look up the mirror number, fill it in the corresponding grid. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this quickly, seeing as I'm been using mirror numbers for a long time now. They're pretty much set in my brain, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Although this one is wrong. That's a 4. Having said I knew them, I went ahead and made a mistake straight away, so that probably wasn't that great. There we go. So there's our numbers there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same again. I'm going to play the 3 horizontal lines, both from the base grid and the translated grid, to get our suggested numbers to go ahead and play. So in our base grid, I'm going to play these 3 horizontal lines, and that will give us a 2 9 6 and a 1 8 5 and a 4 1 8. And same again in the translated grid. We'll go ahead and play those horizontal lines right there. That gives us a 7 4 1, a 6 3 0, and a 9 6 3. And there we go. Those are the 6 numbers that we can now start playing in the Pennsylvania evening lottery. Alright, last state, one more to just show you one final time how this works. +3, -3 rundown. And for this time we're going to use New Mexico. I don't think I've actually done a rundown before for New Mexico, so this will be first time showing them, and we're going to use the midday New Mexico. And so we're going to use the midday result from today, which is the 7th of April. We just need the one result, and that is a 738. So we'll fill that in the center column on our base grid, 738. And then in the left hand column we'll add 3 to those numbers. In the right hand column we'll subtract 3. So 7 minus 3 is 4, 3 minus 3 is 0, and 8 minus 3 is 5. Oh, sorry, forget that, made that mistake there. Do those numbers again. 7 plus 3 is 0, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 8 plus 3 is 1. There we go, those are the right numbers. So we'll put those, and then on the right hand side we're going to subtract. So 7 minus 3 is 4, 3 minus 3 is 0, and 8 minus 3 is 5. So let's go ahead and use our mirror numbers again to move that over onto our translated grid. So 0, mirror number 0 is 5, mirror number 7 is 2, mirror number 4 is 9, and then we'll just keep going down until we filled in all of our mirror numbers, like so. And then we'll just go ahead and play those same patterns once again. So those 3 horizontal lines from the base grid. That will give us a 074 from the base grid, and a 630, and a 185. And already I'm seeing another pattern for New Mexico showing up, which is very interesting. That's both states, two out of the 3 states are showing a similar pattern in the numbers with doubling up. And I'll show you that as I go through here. So in our translated grid, gives us a 529, and then we have a 185, which is a repeat of the 185 we already had in the base grid. So as I said, you can either double down and play a couple of dollars, or you can go ahead and play these box and straight, or but definitely pay attention to these. And once again, the 630 shows up as well. So a couple of doubles here. So we had a couple of doubles in our first state, which is Maryland, and a couple of doubles in our New Mexico. So definitely ones to watch out for there. So there we go. That's our +3, -3 lucky rundown. As it tried in your state, I've been tracking it across several states so far for April. It seems to be hitting pretty well. Leave me a comment below if it's hidden in your state. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Please give me a thumbs up on this. Share the video to anyone else that wants to learn how to do lottery rundowns. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.